a couple of articles I saw, one from Joey Akan, which he was doing like breaking down Spotify 60 billion naira.
Yeah.
It's naira, right? 60 billion naira payment to Nigerian artists. But before I go through that, there was one Substack I saw by Mimi, the music blogger, and it's called The Board Was Never Yours. On Black Music, 24.5 billion pounds. It feels like worker of the month, and that was never the point. Um, Part of why I do the rants is that, or I do this show, like part of what inspired me to get into music journalism is that um I pursue a music career and I actively try and, do my best to guide creatives because when you look at the entertainment industry, it's a lot of glitz and glamour, but there is so much of it that needs context. And talking about that context is not always glamorous, it's not always what pays the most, but at least it can help prepare those who are coming in to know that this thing is not always what it seems, and you need to be mentally prepared for it because, like, if you are going to play this game, you have to play it for the long term. So, the 24.5 billion pounds is the estimated contribution of black artists, producers, and communities to the UK music industry over 30 years, out of a total of 30 billion pounds. So, 80% of the entire industry's commercial output has been generated in the UK has been generated from black artists. Um, and I think the main crux of it, I don't know if either of you read it. Were you able to read it?
About the royalties.
This Substack, did you read
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, we did.
Did you read the but you heard about the royalty? Not the Nigerian one. This is UK first.
Personally, no.
Okay. Why the person was highlighting it is that there was a big celebration over the number.
Okay.
And the person's point is that number is great, but there is no infrastructure to back it up. It's
So
not tangible
so it's
progress.
not like a success story.
It's kind of what happens in Nigeria where they say, like, oh, we're the biggest economy in Africa, yet our minimum wage is the lowest,
Lowest. Okay.
maybe out of all of
So
the
that's
countries in
60
the world.
billion. We don't exactly know how much goes to the
we'll get
artist.
to we'll get to that 60 billion. We're still in the UK, but we'll
Okay.
get to that one specifically. And Joey Akan did a breakdown of that. But like, what this person was talking about was like 80% of an industry's commercial value generated by the same communities whose sound were used to justify stop and search, to shut down raves, to deny venue licenses. Something that has happened in black communities across the world is that, oh, how can we guarantee your safety if you do this show because you know how black people are? And maybe in a moment of transparency, maybe that is why when we were having the conversation earlier, I was a bit defensive because as black people, and I don't want to get into hotepism, but as black people, we do have not to do the thing where we don't say, of course, our country is not as safe as it can be. And we're
Mm-hmm.
going to talk about heartbreaking news coming out of Uzoro where there is a literal rape festival.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we 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 have to be able to dig through the haystack to find the actual needle and diagnose problems for what they are. So, worker of the month doesn't come with equity. You know, when companies do when they want to recognize someone without paying them more, the plaque on the wall, announcement, all hands, a statistic celebrating black contribution to the UK music industry without interrogating who holds the publishing rights. Like we were talking about Burna Boy. That's why, like, I would be the happiest person if Burna Boy owns his masters, especially for African Giant and Twice as Tall, because that is real power, right? Um, who owns the masters? Who sits on the boards? Is the worker of the month energy right? Anyway, I think this is like a fantastic article on like the music industry. It's not glamorous, but it's real. Um, One of the analogies like the board is the industry, it exists before you arrive. The dice is the situation, the A&R who finally picks up the sync deal that lands, the feature that goes viral, the label that drops you 6 months in because the algorithm didn't move fast enough. You don't always control what you roll. Some days the path clears and momentum builds. Some days you pull a one and watch everyone else advance while you stand still, trying to find the lesson in it. And some roles leave you completely exposed, right in the path of someone who has no choice but to take you out. Not because it's personal, but that's the game and they're playing it too. I think that if you've never been in the music industry, you might not truly appreciate it, because like, yeah, the game exists before you get in. You see, and like that was why, and I know that sometimes when you say these things, I'm closing my laptop as if there's not another topic to talk about. But yeah, sometimes when you say these things, it sounds mean, it sounds harsh. But until you've really experienced that harshness of it, you can never know where that person is coming from, and then they just end up sounding bitter. So when Crayon comes on Twitter and he says what he says, the dice did not roll for him. He rolled the dice, and like they said, sometimes the path clears. A Rema comes in and the path clears for him. And you were there at the label. Maybe you did write the biggest song and it doesn't work out for you. And you come online and you're also partly to blame because you don't even know how to say it, because how else are you going to say what you have to say? And then the fans who don't even know what's going on attack you. And yeah, partly to blame. You did not say what you said, but the industry too. And all of them know what he's saying and they'll just be laughing. So if you're going to do this entertainment thing, do as much research as you can, because it is glamorous, it looks flashy, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. There's a bit of luck that goes into it. And it's not easy. It's not easy on anybody. So like if you're giving grace, try and give grace give grace to the artists you hear of and the ones you don't hear of. If you don't hear from your favorite artists, it's not because they fell off. Maybe the label did pull them. Maybe they're having beef. It's something as simple as you're not in good terms with your label president. They reduce your budget and you're like, oh, this person fell off. You don't know how many millions of naira they're paying all these influencers to keep talking about your faves. Like I just said now, Ruga was inescapable. And now everybody acts like, and that's just how fickle it is. Everybody has forgotten about Ruga. But it is what it is, Sha. Let me not talk too much. Afropop's Most Essential Podcast is produced by Visionary Studios in association with Arrow House Studios. Arrow House Studios is a state-of-the-art multimedia studio in Lagos, offering a wide variety of services including video production and editing, audio dubbing and engineering, photography, and so much more. Visit www.arrowhousestudios.com for your quotes. Afropop's Most Essential Podcast is proudly sponsored by Afolus Technology Solutions. Afolus Technology provides a wide variety of power and security solutions for commercial and residential purposes, including Afropop's Most Essential Podcast is produced by Visionary Studios in association with Arrow House Studios. Arrow House Studios is a state-of-the-art multimedia studio in Lagos, offering a wide variety of services including video production and editing, audio dubbing and engineering, photography, and so much more. Visit www.arrowhousestudios.com for your quotes.